Bedford. This is WFXR News First at 10.
First tonight, what started as a normal Sunday turned horrific after a shooter opened fire at Sutherland Springs First Baptist Church in Wilson County, Texas. Tonight, we know that more than 20 people are dead, dozens of others are injured. Thanks for joining us a bit late tonight. I'm Bill Waddell.
And I'm Stacey Spivey. This all happening just before noon this morning. The president tweeting out, "May God be with the people of Sutherland Springs, Texas." The FBI and law enforcement are now on the scene. I am monitoring the situation from Japan. Fox News' Brian Yennis is in New York with the latest on the situation and the person they've identified as the gunman.
A gunman. First tonight, tips lead to answers. We now know the name of a teenager found shot dead in a yard in Roanoke. Thanks for joining us first at 10. I'm Bill Waddell. Stacey Spivey has the evening off. We're learning more about the victim, but police are still trying to track down that young man's killer. The victim has been identified as 18-year-old Alante Dent of Roanoke. Now, Dent's body was found Monday morning in a yard on Delaware Avenue Northwest. New at 10, it is that time of year, people picking out their Christmas trees and putting up the holiday decorations. But according to the National Fire Protection Association, your tree can cause some serious damage if you're not careful. WFXR's Lauren Taylor caught up with some fire experts today, and Lauren, they say we should take some extra time and think twice before we start decking the halls.
That's right. I spoke with Roanoke County fire officials who tell me
Another consumer alert, it is the season of giving, but it's also the season of scams. More people report being victims of scams during November and December, and police say it is a tough crime to solve. WFXR's Caitlin Klein spoke with a deputy who says some people in Salem recently fell for a scam that's going around right now. So Caitlin, what exactly happened to these people, and what can authorities do about it?
Well, Bill, there's really not much authorities can do. The police officer I spoke with says this is actually an incredibly hard crime to solve because the suspects leave no trace.
A big name in news has been fired from his job after allegations of sexual misconduct. The Today Show's Matt Lauer was terminated from his position late last night. But before Lauer was a household name on the Today Show, he started out working for our sister station in Richmond. Lauer was only 22 years old when he started working in Virginia as the co-host of PM Magazine. He had a few co-hosts in Richmond before he met Denise Kranich. Now, Denise worked with him in the 1980s and says their relationship as co-hosts turned into good friends. The two were even in each other's weddings. Kristen Smith from our sister station, WRIC, spoke with Matt's former co-host, who, like the Today Show hosts, are both shocked and devastated by the news.
He was only a gentleman when I was here.
Denise.
We are your local election headquarters. The race for governor is heating up, and a new poll out from the New York Times just a few hours ago has Democrat candidate Ralph Northam with a slight lead of just 3 points over Republican candidate Ed Gillespie.
Northam has 43% of the vote, which Gillespie is slightly behind with 40%. Now, this is different than the poll that was released on Friday by the Rasmussen Reports poll, which has the two tied. This campaign has been dominated by hot-button racial and cultural issues. The candidates will be crisscrossing the state over the next 24 hours, trying to gain that last-minute support.
Ed Gillespie held a rally in Wytheville earlier tonight, and WFXR's Amelia Fabiano is there live for us. Amelia, you tell us the Republican nominee is sounding pretty confident tonight.
Yeah, he absolutely is, Bill. I mean, that was his main focus tonight.
Final push before polls open for Election Day, and the race for governor in a dead heat. Both candidates for governor spent the day crisscrossing throughout Virginia, and their ads on TV and radio have been airing nearly nonstop. Thanks for joining us first at 10. I'm Bill Waddell.
And I'm Stacey Spivey. Both candidates making stops in Roanoke today. Capitol Bureau reporter Evan Armour leads us off tonight with what you need to know as you prepare for the polls tomorrow morning.
As the gubernatorial candidates canvass the common,
It will come down to getting voters out to the polls, and the poll reports have been keeping this race extremely tight.
Yeah, Fox News releasing a new poll out yesterday with Ralph Northam having a slight lead over Ed Gillespie. They are reporting Northam holding on to a 48% of the vote and Gillespie gathering 43% of the vote. So how are Virginians feeling right now going into Election Day?
WFXR's Amelia Fabiano hit the streets today and talked to people around town to get some reactions. So Amelia, what are people telling you tonight?
Yeah, Stacey, well, I'm at Glen Cove Elementary School right now, and in just about 8 hours or so, voters are going to be walking through this door to cast their ballots. Now, this has been a super long campaign for this election, and we've seen a lot of
Caitlin, thank you. And Nesbitt says if the referendum doesn't pass, they'll turn the Franklin County location into a building to showcase the history of moonshine in the area until they can get that referendum passed.
Polls open tomorrow morning at 6 and they close at 7. And our Election Day coverage starts bright and early at 5 a.m. on Good Day, Virginia. We are set to catch up with Ed Gillespie over the phone at 7 a.m. and then Ralph Northam at 8 a.m. Our live coverage kicks off tomorrow night after polls close with a special report at 7:30. And we'll bring you updates on the biggest races throughout the night on VirginiaFirst.com and right back here tomorrow night, 1st to 10.
People can also text Harvey to 9099. That's for an automatic $10 donation. You can see here on your screen our team working the airwaves and the phone lines. Red Cross volunteers waiting for your call. That number, once again, 540-512-9099.
You can tell we have that conference room there full of phones ready to ring up, and WFXR meteorologist Clay Osterley live at Liberty University. But we want to turn our attention to Sophia this morning, live with our partners over at Wheeler Broadcasting Group. Sophia, I know those airwaves are buzzing over there on the radio side of things. Good morning.
Be coming through, so.
But that rain even subsiding a little bit, not as bad as we once thought, right?
Yeah, it won't be. You know, the low itself is actually well off to our west and traveling to our north, so we're more on the fringe edge of it, but we should get a fair amount of rain and maybe some strong thunderstorms tomorrow with some of that rain making its way on through. So tomorrow's going to be our day to be very cautious and stay on top of the weather, whereas Saturday we should see things starting to improve.
Yeah, especially we're excited because there are so many organizations coming together to make a difference for these victims.
Absolutely. Don't forget. Time right now, 7:40, and welcome back to Good Day Virginia and our 25-hour multimedia Virginia Gives Back fundraiser special for here for the American Red Cross. Please keep those donations pouring in. Here's the number, 540-512-9099. Hurricane Harvey hit landfall last Friday, and one of the first places it was hitting is a place dear to my heart, Victoria, Texas. It's the place where I started my broadcast career. I'll never forget my time there, and especially with some of the greatest people I've ever met. It's a darling community, hardworking people where high school football reigns supreme. Joining me live is a dear friend of mine from Victoria, going through the aftermath of Harvey, former Miss Victoria, Robin Allen, now a teacher at a local high school over there. Robin, how are you guys doing so far?
It's really crazy, Alexander. I'm actually outside right now, so I don't wake the family up. But as I stand outside, you can hear FEMA helicopters overhead and first responders sirens on. It's the best way I can describe it is kind of like a disaster movie. It's really kind of scary and ominous, but we're making it through. It's very creepy.
Robin, obviously you've been there your entire life in Victoria, so you've seen a lot of storms blow through. I've been a part of some of those South Texas storms, but this one, catastrophic, historic in so many ways. When it first started blowing through, what were you thinking?
We rode it through, and it might not have been the smartest idea, but I can tell you that it was the scariest storm I've ever lived through, and I've been here my whole life, like you said. It was very loud. You kind of felt like your whole house was coming in on you, and you could hear, honestly, the transformers from electricity were just blowing out every 30 seconds. So there was lots of explosions and lights, and it was scary. Our house made it through, but the aftermath has been kind of, like I said, very scary, not, positive in a way, but also kind of primitive. It's a little scary down here.
Give me a description of what you did.
All right, share the exciting news with our viewers during this telethon.
I was just outside. We have a big conference room of phones
back
as
inside
well.
to tell us.
Yes, sorry if I'm sweating. Conference room of phones outside, and one of our top sales professionals here at our station shouted out, shouted out $1,000 donation. And so let me just tell you what that does for victims over there. $1,000 provides food and shelter for a family of 4 for an entire week. thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
All right, we're continuing this all day long. Call in 540-512-9099. We want to leave you with these messages.
I was scared. I've seen a lot of things, but that terrified me.
Every bayou.
Obviously, you're saying some of the water has gone down a little bit where you're standing, but you've been there for a couple of days. Well, give me a sense of what you're seeing and give me a sense of what people are feeling at this moment. Is there like hope at the light at the end of this tunnel?
Well, you know, I think when the weather improved, that helped a lot. We just went through day after day of rain here for an extended period. I mean, more so than you would typically see in a hurricane, and that's obviously what caused a lot of the flooding, the fact that the storm just parked overhead. So when the skies cleared, I think psychologically that probably helped a lot. But, you know, you look at the mess this has left behind. FEMA says they're going to be here for years dealing with the reconstruction, really. And for a lot of folks, their homes are going to be total losses.
9,165 just in phone calls into this studio within the last 2 hours. Ladies and gentlemen, that does not include texting or online donations. That doesn't include the phone calls that they're on right now.
That is live in studio just right here. So I'll tell you what, all day long, 540-512-9099. We'll see you soon. WFXR News First at 10 will continue 10 o'clock tonight. Bye-bye, everyone.
To be able to get through the storm the way we did and save so many lives is nothing short than remarkable.
Saturdays in Blacksburg can mean only one thing. Welcome to Grand Home Furnishings Gobbler Game Day, sponsored in part by Jersey Lilies and All Best.
The Hokies are looking to jump in the top 10.
But it's never easy against those Duke Blue Devils, especially in Lane Stadium.
Tonight, it's an ACC clash from Blacksburg.
Head coach Justin Fuente joins the show. We talk Hokies and following a legend.
And that legend will join us live.
It's Gobbler Game Day, and it starts right now.
And good evening, everyone. We want to welcome Hokie Nation to our special pregame coverage, Gobbler Game Day on the CW Virginia. I'm Garrett Turner.
And I'm Samantha Waddell. We are here at Lane Stadium in Blacksburg, and it does not get better than this.
It doesn't get better than this. The truth is, the rain's here. So for all you at home, you're lucky to be inside. But the fans, they're not leaving the stadium. They don't care.
No. Oh, no. They're here. They're here to stay and root on their boys. And our Jermaine Farrell is out there with all of Hokie Nation, seeing how they got ready for tonight's game. Hey, Jermaine.
And there is no one that knows this game, this atmosphere at Lane Stadium better than legendary head coach Frank Beamer joining us live on set. Coach, thanks so much for being here.
Oh, it's great to be here. And I knew when you guys were talking about our fans and the rain might run them away. Nah, they're not. They like a challenge like that. So loyal fans, great fans.
Frank, so how has retirement been? I mean, you get to be a fan with the rest of Hokie Nation.
I've enjoyed it. I've really enjoyed coming back and watching this team play, and I think we made a great choice. And Justin is our head coach, and of course Bud is known as one of the.
Well, that's a wrap for us here. Gobbler Game Day on the CW Virginia WFXR Sports Team. Good luck.